Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you had a chance to relax this weekend. The boy and I started Arcane on Netflix, and so far I dig it, and he digs it. So that's very cool that we can find another thing to watch together that we're both engaged with. Yeah. So there are a couple things I want to cover today, and I also don't want to eat up too much of your time. So if I am going fast, it is out of respect for your time. So let's dig in. Very cool weekend for the campaign. We crossed the 83% mark and 152 backers, which is very cool. And again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody joining in, sharing, retweeting, saying nice things about the campaign. Truly appreciate it. We are in the end game now, just over 1100 to cross the finish line. So we got work to do. But as always, this is kind of the easy part because I absolutely love this story and it's easy to talk about. I had mentioned last time that we're going to run a contest tomorrow morning. At the moment, we're going to give away 3 copies of Charlie Spot #1 to and everybody that's backed at a physical level. Any physical level is entered to win it. If we can get 4 more physical backers, if we can get to 120 total physical reward level backers, I will add a 4th copy, and so we'll give away 4 tomorrow morning. You have until midnight tonight. So it's Monday the 7th, so 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard. If you're back by a physical level by then you are entered. And again, if we can get 4 more physical backers today, then we're going to up it to 4 copies that we give away. I'm going to talk more about Charlie Spot in a second. But I wanted to give you an update on the campaign and show off some very cool stuff. So what I love about doing stuff like this is dragging in people, talented friends who might not normally be a part of stuff like this. And I want to introduce you to my friend Meredith Wish. She is an artist, again, friend for years and years and years. And she's got a very cool art style. And when I was thinking about the book and basically like the interstitials of the book, what's going to go on the pages between the stories, I wanted to do something that brought the stories to life. And I had this idea of what if we kind of did like clip art representations of each story. And like I said, Meredith is a wonderful artist, an incredibly good friend, and I love bringing my friends into projects like this. So I reached out to her and asked her if she'd be interested, and she said absolutely. And so she's been working on it, and she came back with this idea of what if we kind of made it look like cardboard cutouts. And I said that sounded interesting. What would it look like? And what you're seeing on the screen is the 6 icons for each story in kind of her cardboard cutout look. So this is a black and white version. As you can see, we've got our alien, our nuclear war, our wasteland apocalypse, the robot uprising, killer tidal waves, and zombies. She is coloring them at the moment, and I'm just excited to see where it goes. And again, this is why I love working with artists, is they take an idea that I think like, yeah, it'll work, it'll be fine, and then they find a way to elevate it, make it better, and also make it theirs. So yeah, she sent me the icons this weekend, so I wanted to share them with you. We've got a very cool idea of how to use them in the book. So again, each page of this book is thought out, cared for, and artistic. Again, I'm so lucky to be surrounded by incredibly talented people that are willing to go on these journeys with me. And I love sharing them off with you. So that was one of the awesome things that came in this weekend. The other one is that Fernando Pinto has finished coloring his story of We Gotta Go. It's Justin Birch now has it, and he'll be lettering it soon. But I wanted to just send you one frame. This frame, I figured every parent can relate to. At some point or another, you have listened to your children, and this is the face you have made. Whether you're in an apocalypse or not, it feels like it. So yeah, again, Fernando is an incredibly talented artist. I love the energy and acting and just the sense of fun he brings to his stuff, which again makes me like laugh to no end that we gave him what might be the darkest ending to any of the stories. So we will share more of Fernando's We Gotta Go once it's complete and you can see it all together with Justin Birch's lettering. So those are the two big movement that happened this weekend art wise. And I realized like normally when I launch stuff like this, it's all done. And, so there's really not much to update you other than, how the campaign's going. So it's been fun this time around that as the coloring has come in, like, as Meredith has started bringing stuff in, that I get to share it with you, like pretty much as I see it as well. So I hope you dig seeing how this book is coming together. Because I know with each new element that comes in, it just makes me so freaking happy. So that is the update for the campaign at the moment. Now I want to, if you know about Charlie Spot, cool. If you don't, I want to just talk about it a little bit, and why I added it to this campaign. And again, it will be a part of the add-ons starting tomorrow. Charlie Spot #1. We've got 2 covers that will be available. They'll be $5 each. They'll be signed by me. They are from my group of copies, so they're coming straight for me, bagged, boarded, and all that. So Charlie Spot is kind of really important to me. It started, so I worked in downtown Boston for 10 years. Took the train in, basically took the exact same route for 10 years. And the seed of Charlie Spot started when I realized that some of the same busking and homeless people had their own spots, and like they were always there. It was their spot. And after seeing this over and over again, I just started thinking, like, how do you come up? Like, what are the rules? There have to be rules. How, person X gets, the spot right outside the bookstore, and person Y gets the spot right outside of Starbucks. And they're always there, and no one's fighting about it. And so that kind of started, like, there's this world, and there are these conversations going on that we, the people coming into the city and leaving the city have no idea it's going on. That was the seed of it. And then, trying to think of, well, how do you get into this world? And the idea of the homeless veteran came into my head. At the time, was watching a lot of shows where the trope was the crazy homeless veteran goes nuts and does something terrible. It's a trope we're all familiar with, and I think it just hit me that I had watched 2 shows really close together use the same trope. That every veteran that comes back from wherever they are is so damaged that we're all in danger. And if you know anybody who has served in any capacity, that's bullshit. I'm not, not saying that they don't have things that they are working through, are processing. But they're not dangers. They're human beings dealing with stuff just like us. And that kind of hit me as a way of maybe counterbalancing a bit, more empathy, more of a human start to a character versus we need someone to blow up the building. Why not make it, the crazy veteran? So it's kind of started like, that's where it started. And the more I thought about Charlie, the more I started to fall in love with him. And the universal truth I kind of found with him and wanted to work through is, I think, we all feel like we're maybe not worthy of the love or the attention or the friendships that we have. That we think we're too damaged. There's too much going on for anybody to care about. And so we think the best thing to do is to wall ourselves off, when in reality, if we just kind of like turned around, we would see all of these people had our back, loved us no matter what, and would do anything to help us. So that was kind of like the emotional center of Charlie Spot. And then we wrap it all up in kind of like a Big Lebowski-esque escapade where trying to solve one problem unleashes three more. So the plot of Charlie Spot, he is our homeless veteran. He's kind of a famous homeless person. He's got the same spot. He's had the same spot for years. Everybody knows him. And one day he has a heart attack. And as he's rushed off to the hospital and his spot is left open for a few days, well, what is it? Power hates a vacuum or something like that. All of the other busking groups in this city park basically start a turf war over Charlie's spot. So when he comes back from the hospital, turf war is going on. We've got people in bear suits fighting clowns, dancers fighting improvers, and he's got to go on this adventure. He's got to do something he doesn't want to do, interact with other people. And he's got to go around the city and to the evil suburbs to figure out who took his spot and how he can get it back. And somehow we figured out how to get David Bowie in there, because that makes sense. It is drawn by Meredith Laxton, who also co-created it along with me. Colors are by Ali Pepitone, and letters by Charlie Esposito. And this is just a look at the digital ashcan that you can download and check out. What I loved about Meredith's art is there's a realism and a humanity to it, while still embracing being a comic book. And I think that's the fine line that she draws, literally and figuratively. So yeah, there's Charlie having the heart attack, and when he comes back, it's all chaos. And as we find out, someone's sitting in his spot, and he's going to try and get it back. And that's where he figures out the first person he needs to talk to is Barbara. And this is one of my favorite bits that Meredith did, is we kind of turned it into a Lord of the Rings-X type of map of what this cityscape looks like, and all the different groups that are in this place. So he's got to go on, like I said, this adventure to figure out how to get his spot back. And, whatever emotional journey he's got to go on. It is a 4-issue series published by Comics Experience Publishing, CEX Publishing. And, I'm not going to lie. The fact that there's a publisher attached to it means something to me. I've been DIY since the first band I was in. So it's in my blood. It's in my DNA. And so I embrace it. But there's something, the validity of somebody else saying, yes, we will publish this. That means something, for better, for worse. So the fact that it is published by CEX Publishing, it means a lot. It's the beginning of their publishing venture. It's the beginning of my retail publishing venture. So it's, I just want to get the book out there. Again, Meredith, Ali, and Taylor did such a wonderful job elevating it, from beginning to the end. It's something I put a lot of my heart and thought into, spent years making this thing come to life. It's something I'm incredibly proud of, which is why I want to share it with y'all. So to wrap this all up, again, tomorrow morning, everybody who's backed at a physical level, we're going to put your name into the wheel of names, and then 3 of you are going to win free copies of Charlie Spot #1, and then everybody can add a physical copy to their order. I can't put a digital copy on this because I am not the publisher. Comics Experience, CEX Publishing, they cover that. But I've got my own copies, and those are the ones that I can give to y'all. And again, if we can get 4 more physical backers into this campaign, if we can get to 120 physical backers, I will add a 4th copy. So we are closing in on the 15-minute mark. The children are walking to school. My dog is going nuts. I'm going to take that as my exit. As always, thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Tell your friends. If you think anybody would dig Toddler-Pocalypse, please let them know. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a good week. And who knows when the